I mean, again.
All right, hello everyone, and peace of the Lord to all of you. I hope my voice coming good and clear. I know you guys are waiting for me, and I'm late, so I apologize for being late. I thought actually I thought I set the time differently, but it turned to be. I thought like I set it at like an hour from now, but it looked like I am late. Anyway, late better than never coming, right? So anyway, today our topic is about those idiots, you know, and I don't really like to talk about them, but they are, because who they are, and you know, because many of us actually, we make them rich. I want to ask people here, how many of you pay for cable? How many of you pay for cable? There is anyone here pay for cable? If you pay for cable, why you pay for cable? What for? What is exactly what the cable TV they will do to you? The second you pay for cable, you are paying for those. Those supposedly are people who do so-called comedy. But we teach our children in school that we are, and we should not do bully. Is that correct? This is what they say. And Democrat, they claim that they are the one who is against bully. But isn't it all of those in front of you are nothing but a bully? Isn't it everything they do is about bully? Am I heard? I hope my voice is coming clear. Let us see. Okay, maybe we are not. Am I heard? Let us see. I think you hear me, right? All right. So, because I don't see a response in the chat for what I'm saying. And thank you again for those who are supporting us in the donation. We tell our kids that bully is not a good thing. But then we sit as adults watching a bunch of idiots. They are doing nothing but a bully. And they bully who? You see, if you bully someone is unsuccessful, that can cause him a big problem, they say. Like even he can go and do something harmful, physical harm to himself. Usually those things happen to someone he is a teenage, but it's possible to happen for someone he is adult. If we listen to everything they say, I challenge anyone to show me one thing they say is true, and it's not about bullying. As an example, you know, I go and I look for what Trump he said when he was 20 years ago. You know, Trump, he used to be, you know, the spoiled boy who is rich and money and TV show and women around him, and he knows. At that time, Trump for them was a good guy. They never bully him. So when he was like them, he is perfect. If this guy he go around and he have many women around him and he have money and he do TV show and he is like become part of Hollywood, you know, business, so he's fine. But the second you go against what they believe is the moment where the gate of hell will open upon you. And then they will go and search for what you said 20, 30 years ago, when you were, at that time, one of them. So look what they do. They try to bully you by being one of them one day. Somebody saying, his name is Mujahid, he said, my friend Trump is supporting transgender. Are you talking about supporting Muslims in Qatar? I'm not sure what do you mean Mujahid. Mujahid is a Muslim and saying that Trump he support transgender. What I know he support the Saudi and the Qatari. I think, and I guess you are talking about that. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Islamic countries is full of them. What we can say, it's reality. And this is why in those countries you don't find transgender. Like, if there's any transgender, no, because simply everybody there is a transgender. I mean, but they don't say it. Like in Saudi Arabia, 45% of people, according to Saudi, and I made a video about it. I just translate the video. I did not even talk. It's a Saudi doctor. She said that 45% of the people of Jeddah, they have sex with the same gender. And they have incest, which means having sex with a family member. So the Muslims, they are very confused people about who is their God, what is their gender, who is their enemy. So look what happened now. The Muslims, they gather. By the way, our topic about those guys, but this Abdul, he mentioned something, so we will go for it. The Muslims in Michigan, they made like a conference. Saying to Biden, you are not welcome. What? Until you cease fire in Gaza. Hold on, I thought you say he's not welcome. Why the until for? Because sooner or later this fire will cease anyway. When there's no more wood to burn, the fire will cease. Don't worry. But look at those hypocrites, confused. They are the same as the Democrat. This is why they side together. They live in this country that they side with Hamas. How you can be an American citizen and you support Hamas? Oh, no, we are not supporting Hamas. We are supporting Palestinian. But all of them, they are Hamas. Isn't it Hamas are elected? For the last 20 years, nobody is elected beside them, only them. Where Hamas get their soldiers from? So now they come to a conclusion that they should not support Biden. But anyway, who cares, my friend? Even in Michigan, it's still minority. And do you think really Biden he will care if you support or not? Yes, he is a hypocrite. He like to get support of everybody. But in the same time, you don't make a big difference. If you think you do, you are making big mistake. Same time, if you don't support Biden, you will vote for who? Trump? What a bunch of hypocrites. So we go to those Abdul here. Abdulism have many forms. There is people who they are a slave of Allah, and there is people who they are a slave of parties, and there are people who they are a slave of mockery. All of those we see in the screen, they are atheists. Amazingly, all of them, they share the same value. What is their value? As an example, Donald Trump, he have to apologize. Apologize for what? Because he want to build a wall. Oh, really? What is building the wall is about? You will find every one of them, with no exception, bullying Donald Trump because he want to build a wall. If you remember, when they bully Trump about the cages in the borders, and later we found out that those cages is built by Obama. But none of those he opened his mouth at that time. In fact, Obama, he built cages everywhere. He separated family from each other, children from their mothers, and nobody complained. So it's obvious that the human right value for those who so-called Democrat and atheist, it is awake only when it is about someone like Trump. It's not awake at all if the person who do the same act In fact, Trump, he would just renew. Like Trump, he renew the ban of 6 Islamic countries. Oh, he want to ban the Muslims. He is a bigot. He is a racist. And by the way, even they accuse him that he hate black because he banned Muslims, when the majority of Muslims in the world, the majority, we can say maybe, I will not be exaggerated if I say maybe 85% of Muslims in the world, if not more, are white. So banning Muslims, he did ban Muslims, really? So how all those Muslims, they are coming to this country? This guy, he just renewed the order of Obama. It's Obama who banned those countries, not him. When Obama, he did it, nobody opened his mouth. When he signed and renewed the order, he did not make a new order. He renewed it. He just signed. It's going to expire. So he signed. They start bullying the man. Listen to this coward who he think he is funny. And, people, they laugh anyway. And, I'm really surprised that Trump, he lowered himself to meet those people. Honestly, that make me upset. Why you go down? Why you make them even more popular? Are you trying to speak to their audience? Their audience is their audience. They are not yours. They will not listen to you. Listen to this conversation.
Apologize to you because I've said a few things about you over the years that are, in polite company, perhaps are unforgivable. Almost unforgivable.
And some nice things. Not too many.
I don't remember saying anything nice. But anyway, I hope you'll accept my apology. And I just want to give you the opportunity. Is there anybody you'd like to apologize to right now yourself?
No.
No? No.
Maybe the audience.
No one
How
to
about the
apologize
audience?
at all. Okay.
No apologies.
Let's talk about immigration for just a second. Okay. I know that you believe that illegal immigrants should all be deported. True?
That's true.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
We have to bring people. Look, we have a country. We have borders. We have no border right now. We don't have a country. We have to create. Number one, we're going to build a wall. Number two, we're going to.
Okay.
Oh, listen to this. Even with your crowd, I hear that.
No, they love that.
See the stupid atheist. He brought Trump to bully him in person, and then he found that there is people who they are inside the studio. I'm sure they will kick them out. They will never invite them again. There is people inside the studio. They like what Trump he said, even though those are his fan. Did you notice? And Trump he said, look, in your crowd there is people they like what I'm saying, even those are his crowd invited, and they select them.
They love the wall.
No.
People love the wall.
We have to have a wall. We have to have a border. And in that wall, we're going to have a beautiful, big, fat door where people they come into the country. And they come in. Now listen to this.
Okay.
A beautiful door where people can come into the country, but they have to come in legally.
Okay.
That's what a country is all about.
You said that Mexico will pay for this.
That's correct.
How do you, I know art of the deal and all that, how do you get the Mexicans to do it? Let's do a little role playing. You're you, I'm the president of Mexico. You call me up, okay?
Well,
you meet with me, okay?
sure,
Ready? Like,
sure.
Donald!
Number one.
Here he is making look how childish he is, and this is why I really am so annoyed that Trump he accept to be sitting with such a bully, stupid idiot. Look at this face. Look at what he's doing. How you will do that? He did it. He became a president and he built a wall. Even though all of you, the dogs who bark against him, try your best to stop his funding. We know what happened. He was struggling to provide the fund because the senators, the Democrat in Congress, they never approve it. So he had to move a fund from the Defense Department to build the wall. So he did it. And about Mexico paying for it, well, he have his plan. He can increase tax on them. Very easy. You do not need to force them to pay you money. You say to them, anything you will bring to this country, you have to pay extra tax for it. Bingo. And this is what he did. But this is the same idiot 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Let us see the date. 5 days ago. He admit that he is a donkey. They deny, they are against the wall. They don't want the wall. Border should not be like this. Border people, everybody is welcome. This is the same idiot just 5 days ago.
Right now, down in Congress, everyone is at each other's throats because it is Tuesday. Also because of the border. Now, no matter what your views are on immigration, there's no denying there's been a border crisis for decades. And recently, it's gotten even more serious. In December, border crossings through Mexico reached nearly 10,000 migrants per day. That number's risen more than fourfold compared to...
See? This is the same idiot who was making fun of a Trump who's doing his best to fix a big problem the country has. So do you see when you try to make a country look like a country? Because a country has no borders, it's not a country. When we say Germany, what we are talking about? We are talking about a piece of land have borders. Correct? When we say Ukraine, we say a piece of land have borders. You cross that borders, you are in Ukraine. You cross to the other side, you are maybe in Poland or in any other neighbor country or Russia. Countries are, the identity of countries is because of borders. Those people, they are anti-borders. And now this idiot, he admit that we have a big problem. In the last month, 10,000 people, by the way, where are they sleeping? You see, they go on TV, they make fun of Trump. Trump, he say, big fat door. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Big fat door. Ha, 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 ha. Well, why not? You see, if he is a person who is against certain race, he will close all borders. He will not have a door. He will say there's no migrant. Why and how come you want borders for Gaza, you Democrat, but you don't want borders for America? Anybody can tell me? We see tens of thousands of those lefty-minded, awkward weirdo. They go in the street and they keep saying Palestine, Palestine. Okay, what do you want? We want to kick the Israeli out of Palestine border. So Palestine, which does not exist, has borders, and America, which exists, has no borders. So they want borders in a country that does not even exist. And they don't want borders in our country. Now, maybe many of you are here. You are not from the state. But you should know that whatever happened in the state is going to affect you. USA is a country, affect every country in the world. Even when the Fed, they announce interest rate, is going to affect the price of your currency. It's going to affect your economy, your policy, everything. So this is why I advise everybody to be interested in what's happening in the state, because it's going to affect you. So what those people want? Here this idiot, he is coming 5 days ago after all the bullying for Trump. That Trump, he want to build the wall, and he admit that we have a bigger crisis. How we can fix it? Maybe have a solution, but maybe by the bully. You know what? What about he start bullying the migrant so they will leave? What about we put him in the borders? He bully anyone who get closer.
Down in Congress, everyone is at each other's throats because it is Tuesday. Also because of the border. Now, no matter what your views are on immigration, there's no denying there's been a border crisis for decades.
No
Recently,
way. How come there was no, how come there was no border crisis when Trump was a president? He was bullying Trump about having a border wall. Yeah, wall, you want to build a wall, huh?
Gotten even more serious. In December,
border crossings through Mexico reached nearly 10,000 migrants per day. That number's risen more than fourfold compared to the 2010.
Look what he just said. Fourfold compared to 22. What about 21? When Trump, he was in the office, almost the borders is almost zero migrant. The stupid Biden, he came to the office, the first thing he did, he says, we want to take down the wall. Everybody is welcome. And then the caravan, they start coming by tens of thousands around from everywhere. They are coming even from China. Mujahid saying, Trump, he will deport you. My friend, don't worry, you are a Muslim, Abdul, and maybe Trump, he would deport me because by mistake he think I am Abdul like you and I speak Arabic. Is that what you are saying? And I support Hamas like you? Is that what you think? No, 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 he cannot. Because simply he knew that Christian Prince is a person who loves America and he even joined the USA Army. So we can go after dogs like Hamas. Don't play there, Mujahid. Otherwise, I will join the USA Army again. Again, you know? So don't go there. So actually, Trump, he posted a message clearly that anyone who support Hamas, I'm going to deport him. And for sure, I like that. But look what happened now. This is a bully program. How come they are now reporting something like that? Is he apologizing? Remember when Trump, he spoke, he asked him to apologize. For what? We don't know. For building the wall. Would you like to apologize, Trump? Look, for what?
Perhaps are unforgivable.
Almost.
Almost unforgivable.
And some nice things. And some nice things. Not too many.
And the funny, you know, those people in the audience, they laugh at anything. You're like, you know, they remind me of this crazy, stupid vice president, so-called vice president. What's her name? Kamala Harris. People, they ask her about the price of food. She laughs.
Nice. But anyway, I hope you'll accept my apology. And I just want to give you the opportunity. Is there anybody you'd like to apologize to right now yourself?
No.
No? No.
Maybe the audience.
No one
How
to
about the
apologize
audience?
at all. Okay.
No, no apologies.
Let's talk about immigration for just a second. Okay. I know that you believe that.
And notice here how he connected the dots between apology and immigration. Like, do you like to apologize for, you know, somebody? And right away he spoke about immigration and migrant. But here the same idiot himself, he admit that the stupid administration we have, which is their administration, Biden administration, made things messed up. Which is not surprise. I mean, name for me one thing. The stupid Biden, he did not make it messed up. If there's any. If there's anything you remember was not messed up by them. Where is the video I was playing? Hold on, give me a second. I'm looking for the video, the other video. Continue. What is the problem in the borders?
Tens. But then again, who can blame migrants for wanting to come here for a better life? I mean, they know.
You know what? I don't blame them for sure, but we should blame who? Same time, when those bully, they speak about better life. Is that the life where women, they will be taken into prostitution business by the mafia as soon they arrive to the border? Because now they are sleeping in the street? Is that the life that a guy will be taken and they will give him a job and they will pay him maybe not even 5% of the real value of his work? What is exactly the better life those migrants they think they will have? How many of them is going to be raped? How many of them is going to be under human trafficking? How many of them is going to be used and abused? All of this because those cowards, they speak about a human right, but the fact they are supporting criminals. We know, me myself, I am an immigrant. When I came to the state, I was a student doing my master's degree. So I can work legally. But I was working full-time and they pay me part-time. And I say, but why I need to work 11 hours or 12 hours and I'm getting paid for 3 or 4 hours? They say, well, we cannot pay you more because you are not allowed to work more than this. I said, okay, so I will work those hours and you pay me. They said, no, this is the only option. Either you work what we ask you to do or you go. This is something me, myself, I experienced. Either you work like a donkey and we abuse you and we use you, or get out. This is reality. Those migrants, they will be abused for many, many years. Lucky me, I do not need, I mean, I do not need them really. I mean, I work because I want to support myself as a student. In the same time, I study. But what if I am a person who need to stay with them for a long, long time? What I would do? Well, you cannot do anything. You can't even complain. This is why there is many, they are in favor of those migrants because they want to have cheap employment. You see, when you are a person like this, they don't pay you, they don't pay for your insurance, they don't pay for health insurance, they don't pay for unemployment, they don't pay Social Security, they don't pay anything for you. If an injury happened to you, they don't even care. You are not even registered under their name. They are not supporting those migrants because they are in love with the human rights. They are supporting their own pocket because they want to make money. Pimps, criminals. And then not to forget the drug dealers and all the things they come with those. We don't even know who's crossing the border. Maybe people coming from ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Hamas. You just cross the border and you are fine. And now the stupid state of New York, they are giving credit card, ATM card to the migrant. Let us listen to what this guy want to say. Look like he sounds serious now. Maybe he come back to his mind.
Our motto, E pluribus unum, which of course translates as we.
It turned to be his not. See? Look at this. He is making fun of the logo of his own country. Did you notice? Human trafficking is a bigger crime. Abusing people is a bigger crime. And those bully, they are making fun of the blood and the use and the abuse of those poor people. If the one crossing the borders, they are from the ones they claim that they support them. Let us say, because Democrat, they claim that they are people who support black African, which is absolutely false. They are the enemy, literally the enemy of the rights of a black African. I mean, you go check history if you are an ignorant person. Me, myself, I was surprised when I found out that the Democrat is the one who was fighting against the Republican to keep the African American slaves. It's a fact. He is making fun of a human disaster of tens of thousands sleeping in the street in the middle of the winter and making it a subject of mockery and jokes. And now he is making mockery of his own country.
Put cheese in the crust.
And those donkeys, they are laughing. You know, this is why I like to have a dictator president. If I am a president and I am a total dictator, do you know what I would do? I will take his passport. I will make it so clear that anyone make fun of the flag of this country, the sovereignty of this country, the authority of this country, he shall be stripped from his citizenship and deported to any country he wish. Go where you like to live. You hate America? Go. And there is no question that those people, they hate America. Do you have a doubt about it? If I ask you right now, who is the one who burned the American flag? I know the answer. Hamas, Palestinian Muslims, Iranian Muslims, Afghanistan Muslims, Syrian Muslims, Iraq Muslims, all kinds of Muslims, and liberals. Am I lying? Am I lying? That all of them, they burn the American flag. Those people, when they go in the street, they carry all kinds of flags except the American flag. They carry so-called Palestine flag, homosexual flag, a China flag, any flag, but don't carry the American flag. So why they are in this country? What is their nationality exactly? I want to know. Everything with those people is wrong. And now he brings us, a serious topic to make a mockery of it. And look, people are laughing.
Ever since Biden took office, Republicans have been pushing him hard to get tougher on the border. And recently, they've resorted to some extreme measures like holding Ukraine aid hostage over the building of a new border wall. It's a plan put forth by Chief GOP strategist Chadimir Dutton.
Here you see the stupidity. The fact is that those people did not know what to do. Biden, he don't want to close the border. So they said, okay, you want to approve this deal? Approve our deal. Here you see how shallow, how stupid, they are just so dumb and stupid. I find it that to be a Democrat is an embarrassment. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but this is how I see it. To be a Democrat for me, is to be stupid. Prove me wrong. I remember once I was in Romania and I was waiting for the bus and there was a guy, he's an Italian, he have like tons of rings in his nose and his toes and his ear and there's rings everywhere. That rang a bell for me. Anyway, so he said to me, where are you from? I said, I'm from the state. He said, oh, Trump, I feel sorry that you guys, you have a Trump. I said, what's wrong with Trump? He said, he's racist. I said, why you are saying he's racist? What he did? He said he want to build a wall. I said, what's wrong with the wall? Do you have a wall in your house? If I go to Italy, I said, where are you from? He said, from Italy. I said, okay, so if I go to Italy and my visa expired, what the Italian police would do to me? They would say they deport you. I said, really? You people are racist then. This is how stupid they are. They spread the lies about Trump everywhere, that he is a bigot, he hate the Arab, he hate the black people, he hate people of color, he's racist, he's a KKK, but this is what they do in their land. Anywhere, if you don't have a visa, they will kick you out, unless you are going to New York, you know, the land of the stupid. They are so stupid. They bully you, they frame you, they paint you to make you look like something bad. What Trump he did. How many of those Democrats have a house with outdoor? Do you know anyone? When somebody took a bus of migrant and he put them in front of the house of Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, she called the police. By the way, she is against the police and she always called to defund the police. So she called the police, asking them to remove the migrant from the front of her house. She was so upset. This is how hypocrite they are. They want migrant everywhere, but not in their door, not in their yard, not in their area. They live in a fancy area where the rich people, the migrant are the one who will cut their grass. This is the only time you are welcome to be there. The migrant is the one who is going to be the maid. This is the only time the migrant are welcome there. And then the migrant later will become a citizen and they will convince them to vote for them. And this is the only time they will mention your name. And I find it very inspiring that Democrat and terrorist, they like each other. If I ask you right now, how many of you think that Hamas prefer Biden over Trump? What you will say? How many of you think that Al-Qaeda and Iran, they prefer Obama over Trump? You tell me. We know the answer. And this is why I want to give you advice today. When election happened, check, like maybe you do not need to check much about the one you want to vote for. Check the Muslims vote for who. If the Muslims are voting for someone, I'm talking about Muslims in general, not only in USA, anywhere in the world. So if a Muslim from Pakistan, he lives in Pakistan, he prefers someone, that means this person, there's something wrong about him. Prove me wrong. This is the only way, and maybe the best way, to have a shortcut for your vote. If somebody praised by Democrat, obviously he will be praised by the terrorist. He will be praised by Hamas. He will be praised by the Muslims around the world, who all of them, they say death to America. I grew up in the Middle East, and all what I heard about America, that American are our enemy and we should kill them. I never heard something good about America. But yet you open the TV, all the movies are American. You open the TV, American, they look, you know, what is this? The America look nice, man. And then everybody want to go to America. But we want to destroy America. But we dream to live in America. If you give a visa or citizenship to any president in the Middle East. President, not just a citizen. Trust me, he will leave his country. In fact, most of them, they end in America after they finish robbing their own country. All of them, they end here. It was very funny that the foreign minister of Taliban, he migrated to America. What the heck? If you don't believe me, I can search it right now. Why the foreign minister of Taliban, he moved to America? I mean, who is going to stay in Afghanistan now? The second the American, they want to leave, people, they hold themselves with the tire of the airplane. Literally, you saw the videos. But America is the devil. And I find it very funny and sad at the same time that they brainwash your children and they made them hate their own country. When the enemies of America, they dream to come to America. If you say to those people who live in Gaza, how many of you would like to come to USA if we give you a visa? The 2 million will be here tomorrow. I assure you that. I'm going to open my Skype, and I would like to invite anyone to join us. And if you are a Muslim, maybe you can tell us which one you prefer more, Joe Biden or Trump, because obviously one of them is going to be the president in the coming 4 years. So Muslims, which one you prefer more? I know the answer. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. I know that you will never like to have Trump. And that was for sure one of the biggest reasons for me to say, well, Trump obviously is a better choice for us. Because I know you will not like someone who is good to America. You will like someone who is bad to America. You will notice that the enemies of USA, as an example, Erdogan, as soon as Joe Biden became a president, as he claimed to be, Erdogan, he sent a letter to the White House saying that all the supporters of Donald Trump are KKK. If you don't believe me, search it right now in Google. And maybe I can search it right now. This coward, son of Muta, when Trump was in the house, he feared his tweet. He make poo-poo in his pant if Trump, he make a tweet because he demolished the currency of Turkey. As soon as Trump, he left, and Biden, he hate Trump, the coward Erdogan, he sent a letter to the White House saying that Trump supporters are KKK. And this is the guy who kill you just because you are a Kurdish or you are a Christian. And he speak about KKK and discrimination. If someone can find me the letter, that will be good. So we can put it in the screen. Imagine how coward they are. When Trump was in the office, they are kissing literally his ass. As soon as Trump he left the office, they send letters to the White House of Biden saying that all the supporters, and now this is why we as people who support Trump, we should demand Trump to punish the garbage of Turkey. I hope Trump will not be stupid and forget what the Turkish government they did, all their crimes, and especially their false accusation against Trump and those who support him. So I hope he will not be the person, because last time he did that, you know, he told people they lock her up, then he become in the office, he did nothing with Hillary Clinton. How come you don't go? Why you don't do it? Look what they are doing to you. This guy, he have a case every day in the court. He made a big mistake by not going after them. We don't know even how many cases he have now. I mean, they are digging in the ground, in the sky, in the floor, in the closet. They are trying their best to find cases after cases. And this is telling you how terrified they are. This time, if Trump he won the election, and I hope so, and I wonder how he won the election, if Biden he won the election by fraud. I mean, how we can do it this time? If those people, they can send millions of false votes by mail. If they were able to do that when Trump was a president, do you think they will not be able to do so when they are in control of every department of the country? They are in charge of Department of Justice, FBI, CIA, everything. So how Trump he will win? But if we assume that he will win, I have no doubt, by the way, that if there is a real election, he will win. I mean, look, if I go right now and search in Google for black African voting for Trump, you will be overwhelmed by the result. African American who've been lied to for years and years and years. They understood right now very well that nobody helped them as much as Trump he did. He created a special investment zone just for African American territory where people are poor and desperate for jobs. He said, listen, if you open a business there, we will not tax you. We will not tax you at all. I don't know for how many years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Nobody did that before. Trump, he did a criminal justice reforms just for the African people, because there's many, they are in jail for a very simple, stupid thing. He freed at least 20,000 of African Americans from jail who they are serving for a stupid crime, if we can call it a crime. Obama came in the office, what he did to the African. Obama left the White House, what he did for the right now he live between the white rich people. You know, the first question I ask myself, those people, all of them, including this bully, what his name? The Late Show, stupid show. Why nobody, no one of them go and live between the African American? Why all of them, when they are rich, they choose a neighborhood where is only white people live there? White, rich people, not just white. Obama, Nancy Pelosi, all of them, they claim they love African American, but where they live? Go check the address. They never even lived between the poor African American. When they want to buy a house, they go and buy a house in the most expensive area between the white rich people. All those so-called celebrity, if we ask them, where do you live? You do not need to ask them. You can check it in Google. You know the answer. Where they live. In TV, they speak about equality. In reality, their kids goes to schools, have almost zero people of color, as they use that word always. Am I lying? They speak about equality, but in their TV stations, all high jobs is given to them. And they are the white people. They speak about equality, but look who is their friends. They are the most racist ever I saw. You know, when the Lord, he says, from their fruits you shall know them. So I advise you to practice this statement in anything you see in your life. From their fruits you shall know them. They speak about electric cars, but zero of them here have electric cars. There's the guy, his name Al Gore. Al Gore, he go and he makes speeches around the world. And those speeches' target is to fight global warming. But Mr. Al Gore, he don't fly in a normal flight like us. No, no, no. It have to be his own jet. So he fly all the way to Colombia to make a speech about the global warming. By burning a fuel is enough to put heat and light in a small town for the coming 6 months. But remember, he go there to explain to you how you can fight global warming, and he tell you that when you leave the bathroom, you should turn off the light. And this is how we can save the world. If we ask Joe Biden and the hilarious Harry Camilla Harrison, whatever her name, what is the cars you are using now, and what is the cars of the secret police with you? Why until now you are not using electric cars? If we ask them what they have in their houses, do they have propane, do they have gas, or they have electricity? We have videos of all of them cooking at home, and they are using natural gas. Yet they are asking everybody to stop using them. Mujahid, he said, global warming is real. Well, Mujahid, I cannot deny that, since global warming connected to the ass of your prophet and his God. If you remember, Mujahid, according to your prophet, each time a Muslim is called for a prayer, shaitan he do fart. This is why actually the Democrat, they are asking everybody. I mean, imagine this congresswoman with her name Cortez, stupid mental women. She wants us to stop eating beef because simply the cows, they fart. And they are causing a global warming. But the fact is, the biggest farting reason in the world is the Muslim prayer. And this is what Muhammad, he said. When shaitan hear the calls of the prayer, which Allahu Akbar, which is very silly, stupid. Allah is bigger. I mean, this is the only religion they brag about the size of their God. Yet he is invisible and so small. So when shaitan he hear the call of the prayer to the prayer, he turn back and he break wind. And now we understand the major resource or reasons for a global warming. And by the way, the Democrat, they found that this is absolutely true. As an example, Joe Biden, once he did fart and the mic was open. And he lost many votes from the Democrat because of that, because they find him red-handed causing global warming. I do not need to prove to you that Democrats are stupid people. And I know this is not politically correct to say, right? But it is. I find them stupid. I mean, what I can say, America supposedly is a land of a free, and you say your mind, you say what you think, you say what you believe, right? And now they will say to you, you are a bigot. I say Islam is a religion of terrorists. They say you are a bigot, Islamophobic, but it's true. Name for me an Islamic organization is not supporting terrorism. Just name one. I mean, even the UNRWA, which is a United Nation, not an Islamic organization, it is a terrorist support organization. Tens of thousands of employees, they got paid by United Nations, but they are members of Hamas. So the second we say the truth, the same second they frame you. You know, they call you Islamophobic, homophobic. Okay. So a person who is speaking against Christianity, how come you don't call him Christophobic? They don't want this cross in the street. They don't want the Bible in the hotel. They don't want the word God in the school. But yet the second you speak against Islam, you are Islamophobic. The second you speak against stupidity they have, or you say, I don't approve homosexuality, you are a homophobic. I remember once I was doing a seminar, and a guy, he put his hand up, and supposedly he is smart. He said to me, I heard that you don't support homosexual. I said, are you a homosexual, sir? He looked at me, he's so angry. He said, why you are saying that? I said, look at you, it looks like you are the one who don't support them, not me. So this hypocrite supposedly is trying to frame me and make me look like a bigotry person. I mean, he don't support homosexuality. Let me expose you in public. How you explain that? The second I said to him, are you a homosexual? He got so upset. And I said, look at you, you look so upset. So if you think homosexuality is something good, why are you upset? Well, why give us a reason why you get so angry? Everybody start laughing at him. And we know that this country is suffering from a lot of lack of education. You see, there's many reasons for us to support and not to support. As an example, China right now is suffering from a big problem. What is that? The population. The stupid communists, they force their women by law. If a woman, she want to have a child, she can have only one child. And they did that for a long, long time. To the point now, China is not the biggest population in the world. It is India. To the point now, every family, if they have only one child. And you know what does that mean? Population is declining. Workforce is declining. Army force is declining. More babies are declining. Nobody gets married. Nobody is getting married in China. So, by changing the rules and forcing the communist rules, which is the same as those donkeys' rules, they want to force you what to eat. They want to force you what to drink. They want to force you to put a mask. They want to force you to take a vaccine. They are the communists. And now they are losing ground in every way, in every mean. When you reach the age of 65 or 67 or 70 and you want to collect your retirement, if all the nation become homosexual, who is going to pay for your retirement? Nobody. Your retirement or your social security is going to be paid by someone is born today or born 10 years ago. It's a fact. So if everybody become homosexual and lesbian, we will not have babies. Who's going to pay for you? So even if you don't like God, if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe in any good logic, what about your finance? Somebody saying, you wanted children in this world? Well, what about you deport yourself out of here? Aren't you a children in this world? Aren't you yourself is a child in this world? Deport yourself, start with yourself. Get out of this world, go to Mars. Silly. If you don't have babies, and this is why actually the Muslim, they support the Democrat. You know, when we do abortion, why Osama bin Laden will, what Osama bin Laden, he killed 3,000. Those Democrats, they kill millions every year. Is that correct? They kill their own babies and they open their borders for babies who do not know where they are coming from. Mujahid is asking me, Christian Prince, do you believe in science? Sure, Mujahid. Aren't you the one who told me once about your God, how he found the sunset in a muddy spring of water? Mujahid, since then I became a believer in science. I find it very funny that a Muslim is asking me to believe in science, you know. I'm Muslim. I mean, look who is talking. A person who believed that Shaitan fought because Muslims are praying. All right. We have somebody want to join us. Eight kids? 6 kids? Make more, man. What? Stop watching TV. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
I hear you. Go ahead.
Hi, brother. Thank you. I'm just been listening to you, and I'm an American. I live in America,
All right.
and not that it matters much, but my family history, they all came over on the Mayflower. They were part of the founders, and so I was brought up being taught a lot of American history. And I know America has a lot of problems still, but it's still a wonderful country. I mean, like you were talking about, if we gave a bunch of passports to people over in Gaza, they'd all come over immediately. I mean, there's people constantly coming here. And what you're talking about being the left, being the useful idiots, and I think it's a line down in the sand. I mean, most of the left are basically not Christian. They're not believers. They're atheists. They're living in an evolutionary worldview. And a lot of the right are believers in God and holding on to life. And I think what we're seeing in America is a battle between these two worldviews. And it's a real spiritual battle. That's how I see it.
Yeah, true. But in the same, it's just not the spiritual, because we cannot leave the battle for the spiritual fighting, like the spirit of evil and the spirit of good. You have to put your thought and your mind, and you have to speak out, right? So we can fix it, and we can change the mind, because there is many of those who they are listening to those people, they are being fooled to, they are victims of them.
Yeah.
And because we know, as we always say, if you don't attend your garden, the weed will take over it.
Exactly.
If you open now all TV show, who is the one who is controlling the TV show, the comedy show? The atheist, the one who keeps saying the F word every 2 seconds, right?
Right. Right.
Where is the Christians? What happened? How come TV stations in USA is flooded by those useful idiots? And we don't see the Christians standing and exposing their lies. Why we slept for long? What happened? Why we are not in the backyard to clean the weed? We left, we gave them the board of a school. We gave them, like, if you the USA government, they have a TV station, correct? Sponsored by, every program there is about what? Is attacking people like us.
Right.
In those TV stations, they support Palestine. In those TV stations, they speak against Christianity. In those TV stations, they support homosexuality. I mean, this is a government TV. It should not be about supporting anyone. At least don't take a side.
Right.
If you want to say a news, say a news. But they don't say a news. They don't have a news. They never have a news. They have a sided news. I can change the news by changing the title. I don't know if you agree with me about that.
I do.
Yeah, I can say, like, now Christian Prince, he was driving a car and he hit a guy. Or I can say, an Arab guy, he hit an American. Right?
Right.
So I just changed the title, and then the whole news changed. And the interest, so this is what they do. They bring the news and they change the title. And they don't even check the news. It's about who is going to provide the news first and make it more exciting news, not truthful. Who can make it more exciting? So if I can bring exciting news, that's what people like to hear. This is what people like to see. I don't check what the news is saying. I don't check if it's true or not. I don't check really what is false, what is not. I just bring the news. And if the news later turned to be false, I just ignore that. I say that.
Yeah. I think it's all about emotionalism. Like Tucker Carlson, he plays on the emotions, and so does all the other media. It's turned into entertainment. Instead of just giving us the facts and letting us make our own opinion, they're coloring it. They're trying to turn it into some sort of show or movie entertainment, basically. And I think asked why did, Christians, why did we just let the country go so long as it has? And I've talked to a lot of people around here, and as soon as I bring up politics, I'll say, oh, politics, I don't want to listen to that. Yet they'll vote on someone just because of a name or because they watch a TV show, but they don't know anything about what's actually going on, about the details. And a lot of times when you try to talk to them, they don't want to listen. They just shut you out. So, but I hope America is finally starting to wake up, especially after what happened with the last election and with Biden in office. I hope, at least the right, I hope we're starting to wake up and fighting back. It kind of seems that we are, and I hope we are.
Well, we hope so, but the way I see things is that it's going to be very hard to change things. I'm not discouraging people. Actually, I'm doing the opposite. That's why I'm here. But
right,
as long they control the Department of Justice, the FBI, the education system, the universities, the schools, the board of schools, how we can change things. This is why I like the governor of Florida way better than Trump. Trump, he was in the office. He chose everyone he hired him for a job. He was against us. Department of Justice, go and see what he said about Trump. He want to put him in jail. The one who he hired him. The general attorney, the foreign minister, the advisor. Even his own daughter and Kushner, they betray him.
Yep.
So he have always a very bad choice when it comes to his official. So when Obama, he took the office, the first thing he did, he fired all the Christian general from the high ranks in the USA Army.
Yep.
Trump, he did not change any of them. Zero. Why?
Yeah. I don't know. He said, I read a transcript, I didn't actually watch it, but where he said he didn't have the experience and that he would do better now to know the good or the bad. And you know what? From what you're saying, he's a businessman. I agree with you. Who knows? But even onto that, how do we even know this next election isn't going to be messed with?
Yeah, they can do the same. If they did it once, they can do it again. Why not?
Right.
And it doesn't matter how many people will vote. If if they are going to vote by mail, and actually that they wanted to cheat by insisting that people should not go with ID, and they claim that if you are a person, if you are asking people to go with ID, you don't want the black people to go. Well, hold on, why black people don't have ID? Yeah. So look at the false excuse. Oh, because you don't want people like me. An African woman, she said, people like me. And she is a congresswoman. What do you mean people like you? You are in the Congress already. I mean, how you are discriminated, and you are in the Congress, and Obama was a president, and now you are saying people like me. So always they play the race card to make themselves in control of the government. So they want to send millions of fake votes by mail for people who they are not exist, or even maybe they are dead.
Yep, exactly. And one positive thing that I see though is a lot of non-whites are starting to wake up. I see a lot of black people. There's a lot of support coming out more and more for Trump.
Oh yeah, I saw tons actually. I see actually a huge number. I see a migration, if I can call it, of African American waking up, seeing the truth that the Democratic Party is anti-America, they actually, you know what the Democratic Party do? Prove to us that they support slavery. Until now, why? Do you remember when Biden, he said, if you don't vote, he said to a black person, if you don't vote for me, you are not black?
Yeah, he did that. And he was also partners with a really racist, now deceased senator. He's got a lot of racial background, and he's a liar. He lies about everything about his son
and
being
he is the one who made
military.
a special law to target African. He is the one, He made a law. Even his vice president, she mentioned how he separated them from going in the bus. You remember when she was a kid, because of his policy. But look what he said. If you don't vote for me, you are not black. What does that mean?
Right.
That means we own you.
Exactly. And if you're a black and you're a Republican, they'll call you all sorts of bad names. And
No, this is slavery. This is just a slavery. If you are not voting for me, if you are not voting for our party, you are not black.
Yeah,
they are telling you what is your color.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is how 100%. Racist they are. Racism and evil.
I'll finish.
Go ahead.
I'll just finish this call because I know I don't want to keep you too long, brother. I really enjoy listening to you. All I can say is I can't believe a guy who stayed in his house, his basement, the entire election season and barely had anyone come to his electoral votes. Had the most votes in history. I just don't believe it ever happened like that. And I think if we can make sure that the voting is done correctly, that there's no cheating, I think Trump has a good chance to win. But if not, I don't see any hope for America. I think it's going to go downhill. Yes.
Well, what you can do. I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. And if America go down in this direction, I think America will be divided. And soon we will find a state of California became a country by itself. Especially they are opening their borders to migrant, and the majority now they will be migrant for sure, a migrant who don't belong to the country. I want to say what belong mean. You said you are a migrant yourself, right? Or your parents?
My parents
I lost your voice.
Now?
Okay, go ahead.
My aunt came over. So my great-great-great-great-grandfather wrote the diary on the Mayflower when they came over. So I guess...
Okay, so a long time ago. But what I'm trying to say, you see, I am a migrant myself. So I cannot be a person who speak about in a negative way about migrant. But it's true that there is people who come to this country and they look at it as a cow, not as a country. They want to take the milk of America, and they don't like America.
Yeah. I want to bring up one thing. I saw a video on Rumble this other day. Some guys were interviewing illegals crossing over the border, and they were interviewing this guy that came over from Iran. They had his face blocked out, but he spoke English really well. And he was talking about how we need to watch our borders because there's a lot of terrorists coming through. And when he was asked, what president do you want in? He says he preferred Trump because Biden is destroying America. But he's coming over just for what we have to offer. I mean, we're giving illegal immigrants a $3,000 debit card, free room and board, amnesty, jobs. Who wouldn't take that? If I was in another country and struggling to make ends meet?
I don't have health insurance. They have health insurance. I saw a story of American women. They told her she have to leave the hospital. She have cancer. Otherwise, she have to afford or get an insurance to pay for her cancer treatment. She told them, what about this woman next to me here? She is a Syrian. She's from Syria. She is a refugee. They said, well, she is a refugee. The government pay for her. So imagine an American woman. She is born in this country. She paid tax all her life. And now they want to throw her in the street so she will die.
Yeah.
Because she is American. And the women who just got yesterday into the country, coming from Syria, people who curse America day and night, we give them free treatment for cancer.
Yeah.
This is how stupid those Democrats is.
Yeah. And what angers me the most is, especially in the blue states, the liberal states, they're kicking veterans out of their homes and they're denying veterans health care. These are people who fought for our country, who served for our country, who had friends die and they put their lives on the line for our nation. And yet they're not getting the treatment. They're being made homeless just to make room for these migrants. And that's not right. Not right at all.
I mean, anyone who have little brain, he will know that you do not need to be genius to know that this is absolutely stupid, Yeah. You do not need to be a thinker, a philosopher. I mean, there's a person who gave his life and he offered his life. He might die in the war. He joined the army to defend this country. He go. And then this is how we, this is how we pay them for what they did.
Yeah.
So there's no question. Actually, you know, Obama, he said only losers join the army, correct? Those Democrats are the one who make fun of our army.
Yeah, they are.
But
They
yet
don't let 'em on the campus.
this country, if we don't have an army, everybody will take over us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
why everybody is afraid to play games with America? Because of our army, not because of Biden.
Right.
You know, not because of Trump too.
Right.
They fear our army first, and when they don't feel, there's many, they don't respect you, they fear you. And this is like all the terrorists. They don't have a respect for, they don't respect life anyway. So how they can respect you anyway?
Right.
They think about America, and they are a bunch of stupid kuffar, pagans who eat pork and they sleep around, and we need to kill them, get rid of them, and we are the best people in the world, we are the Muslims, so let us do jihad. And then the only thing will stop them if they knew that the army in front of them is massive and strong and can destroy them. And even that, by the way, because those people, they have no mind, no brain, like what Hamas did. Hamas, they invade a country, have nukes, literally. And they were hoping by attack by few thousand fighters, they can destroy Israel. This is how stupid they are. So we need someone to be smart in order to control the chaos in the world. And those people who they are in the office today, they are the opposite. They are doing the opposite. They are helping the enemy. You know, we watch videos about the KGB, how they brainwash America. Those are the kids who they are brainwashed by the Soviet Union long time ago. And the KGB officer, he spoke about it take 20 years to brainwash a generation. And man, they stayed there for 70 years. So they are able to brainwash the American. And now we see schools, universities, all of them, they do exactly what the communists want them to do 70 years ago, is to hate their own country.
Exactly. And that's what's going on.
And we have to restore the land and the order, and we have to work for it. Thank you for calling me, brother.
Thank you, brother. God bless you.
Thank you. Take care. Actually, I found here this video. I would like to share it with you. Now, I am not in favor of celebrity, and I believe all of them, they don't present me. So don't take me wrong about what I will show you. But sometimes even those who I don't like them, you know, not because they are actors, but they do false, you know, like they take jobs is not convincing. Like an example, this guy, I think he took a job. Is that the movie he did? It's called The Equalizer, or the different actor? Is this the same guy? You correct me if I'm wrong. Like in the movie, it's called Equalizer. They brought you a guy, he is a Muslim, and he is supposedly want to perform justice. Since when? The Muslims are the one who's after. Those are, and he defended the women because she was beaten. But those are the people who believe that women should be beaten. So those actors, they are part of the propaganda. They lie to people and they make you believe that really Muslims, they defend women. So a woman, she is a prostitute, a bunch of guys, they rape her, whatever they did to her, they beat her, but she got paid for she's a prostitute. And then this Muslim, he came and he did justice. He's a justice man. And why they want to make it look, I mean, why they choose to make him a Muslim? What about a person without mentioning his religion? No, it's made on purpose. So Hollywood, or Hollywood, they are working so hard to convince the public that Islam is a good religion and Islam make you a better person. When reality is Islam make you a person who believe in beating women, as the Quran chapter 4 verse 34 says. Muhammad, he said, no man should be questioned why he is beating his wife. No one should even ask him. Which means if you call the police will say, we cannot question the man why he is beating you. This is his right. What's wrong with that? But in this video, this guy, suddenly he's honest. Why? I don't know. Maybe it was like a flu.
You're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
Hold on, let us go back to zero. If you read the news,
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So what do you do?
That's the great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore.
so are you true when you did accept to do the Equalizer movie? Or you were a part of a propaganda to promote a false cult and religion? How come he is questioning the news? If you read the news, you are informed, but you become misinformed. What about if we watch a movie you made? If we watch a movie you did, are we going to be misinformed or informed? All the movies of Hollywood is about misinformation. I don't care if he call himself a Christian or not. How a Christian, he take a job in a movie promoting Islam? You tell me, how that is a Christian of him? He's not Christian. He's a money worshiper. They told him, we will pay you maybe $1 million. Do you accept? Sure. I promote the devil if you want. So they try to brainwash your children in the news. He mentioned the news. If you watch the news, you are misinformed. If you don't watch the news, you are not informed. It's true. The news is not about what is real. The news is about misinformation. So Trump, he is a KKK. Trump, he hate the black people. Trump, he hate the Arab people. Trump, he hate everybody. Trump, he want to build the wall. Trump, so they frame the guy and they make him look like a monster in order to win the election. If you remember, when this man, George Floyd, he died. Suddenly, the Democrat, they made big noise and people going in the street and BLM. You know, people, African-American are shot by African-American every day by thousands, if not hundreds. I don't know the number. And nobody go on the street. And the policemen who were involved, they are not blonde redhead. And the head of the police is a black man. The district attorney is a black man. The mayor of the town is a black man. And yet they claim that this is all because of racism. All of this is just to use it for their propaganda in the election. And Trump, he support the police. And now we understand the problem. If we frame the police, we are framing Trump. And then they started defund the police. All of this movement is just to what? It's just to make Trump look like a bad person. As if a Trump, he was there. Same time, nobody want to mention that this guy, he was committing a crime anyway. If you don't commit a crime, nobody will come to you. If you don't resist, nobody will put you in the ground. I am not defending the police. There's a lot of idiot between them. But we know that if you resist the police, you will get what you will get. So it's not smart of you to resist them physically. That will increase even your crime. And the punishment and the jail will be bigger and longer. So they use the death of this man to frame Trump. Trump, he support the police. The police, they killed Floyd, if we can use that word. And those police, they put them in jail. And God knows what's happening to them now. The whole world, you know, the court against those policemen was a political court. It was not a court of justice. All of us, we knew that. And when this George Floyd died, suddenly everybody attended his funeral. Suddenly he have a golden coffin. The guy, he died because he was cheating in $20. Golden coffin? Are you serious? Every single congressman from the Democrat came to the funeral. Actor, celebrity. All of this is for the sake of propaganda. How come you don't do that to the black people who they are in the street today? What happened? Your love to the African American died? Golden coffin? Senators, congressmen, the flowers they put it in his cars and his graves is enough to feed a town. Everybody. And look how much they care for you as an African. They love you. As soon the election is gone, who care? I mean, do you see the madness? This guy just a few days ago, he was cheating in $20. Statues, they name schools after him. He became like a symbolic of philosophy now. All of this is just for the sake of political propaganda to win the election. Soon before the election happened, something will happen. And you will see how the Democrat, they will hijack the incident. A policeman, he killed a black man. They will make it big news just because of the election. As soon as the election is over, we don't see anybody complaining now about, like, what, nobody is shot by police no more? Nobody died when he was being arrested no more? It was one case only in the state. The way I see the Democrat is the same as the termite. The termite, they love the wood to the point they eat it. Which means they are anti-wood. They hate the wood. And this is how they treat America. Let us see if we have anyone want to join us. Look like not many. I have someone, it looks like he's a doctor, he's contacted me, telling me about Muhammad hearing sounds of the bell. He's explaining. Thank you very much for the explanation. And he was speaking about epilepsy. We know, we mentioned that before, that Muhammad obviously is suffering some kind of mental illness. But I will show you some of what he said to me in the Skype here, without showing his name. I have a medical background, and I think I connect the dots as what you usually say regarding the bell sound Muhammad heard. I think he I think that is sound that usually people with Caesar experience period to Caesar or Caesar. Am I saying it correctly? Attack. You can search, and he mentioned those names. You can search for it to find out more information. Yeah, we know that already, and it's not a secret that this is nothing but a mental illness. And you know, it's not your fault if you have such an illness, right? It doesn't make you a bad person. But the funny is that a person who is suffering from such a mental illness, who hear voices, is the one who is going to be a leader and to receive revelation when everything he have is nothing but a hallucination, you know, illusion. Do we have any Muhammadan? Do we have any of the liberals who support free Palestine now? We take free Palestine today if you want. Anyone support free Palestine? What do you think if I was able to talk to any of those idiots? You know, those people, they bring people to their show. They are in the stage. Nobody can make a comment about what they say. Nobody can question what they say. All what you can do when you come to their show in person is your job is to laugh. Literally, your job is just to be stupid laugher. But imagine if I was there in any of those 4 idiot program, and I asked them about every comment they make. Let us say fact check. How much and how many people will laugh at them when people they find that everything they say is the opposite? Everything they made fun about Trump is the opposite. Trump economy, oh, hold on. We heard that there is something called Biden economy. Biden. What's called? Hold on. Biden omic. That's deep. Biden what? Biden omics. That's deep. That's hilarious deep, brother. If you check every statement Biden he said, anything, you will find that they are, those Democrats, are big fat liars. Anything he said. Don't listen to the Republican. Don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to me. Just go check. I mean, if you are a person who used to live in this country in the time of Trump, just ask yourself what was the price of a bread in Walmart at that time. And what is the price of a bread now? Simple, you know, just bread. If the bread go expensive, then what about tea? What about coffee? What about oil? What about meat? What about gas? What about anything? Name for me one thing was good or is good because of Biden omics. That's a new, that's amazing, omics. Just name one. Like how, what about you try to, you know, to check the price of your gas heat for the month of December and January last year and the year before it and the year before it and this year. Biden, he claimed that American families better off than before the pandemic. Americans have more net worth and higher inflation adjusted. Another claim. Biden, he brought the drug price down. It's so cheap. You can go to the pharmacy right now and you can get 5 kilos of drugs. It's for free, man. In reality, it is way more expensive. Historic investment made by Democrat. Where is the investment exactly is made? Where we can find those investment? They printed papers, and that caused more inflation, and that hurt the poor ones, because now the money, if you have some saving in the bank, if you have $100,000 in the year 2000 or 2001, now your 100,000 is not even 40,000. What was 100,000 buy you in 2000 or 2001? What is the price of houses today? What is the prices of building material? Everything they say is a big fat lie. And I don't know really why anyone who live in this state, it doesn't matter who you are. Let us say you don't like Trump. Let us say you hate the guy. But don't you like to have the price of gas so cheap so you can drive easy and you save some money to your pocket and to your family? Don't you like to eat extra beef every month? Don't you like to go and do shopping for a week by $100 only, not $300 or $4 or $5? Don't you like to pay for less to heat your house and stay warm? So give me a reason for anyone to support so-called Democrat who they are illusionate about electric gas. Look, now they found that electric cars don't work in winter. They have big problem. Electric cars are not working in cities like Chicago and New York with extreme cold. So we are not ready for this technology yet. If you search right now, in YouTube, you will find how all electric cars, who they are owned by people who live in a very cold area, are unable even to charge their cars. And they are asking now for cars work by gas, which we have a lot of it. We have a lot of gas, natural gas. This is why the price of Tesla is down. I mean, you see, they promote it, they speak about it, etc. You know, electric cars will be good in a state like California, and not all of California, certain areas. Nobody can charge his car. They have to turn a generator to heat the battery. The charger is frozen, the battery is frozen, the car is frozen, and the car is not moving. Those people are illusionate, you know. Electric technology, and I support, by the way, to get rid of the oil, but you don't get rid of it in one day. It's going to take, when the technology is ready, when the technology is perfect, when we can do it without all this drama, then we are right. We go for it. But imagine you woke up in the morning, you want to drive your car cannot go. Why? Because your car is working by electricity and battery cannot function good. You want to charge it, you cannot charge it. Why? Because the battery doesn't work good, doesn't charge in cold. So what we will do? Oh, we go and watch the bully program, and they will make us laugh at our stupidity, deciding to stop producing gas and oil, and then going to Qatar to buy it from them. This is how stupid they are. They never bring a solution. They always bring problems, and they are delusional. This is from the BBC. A BBC which is always promote anything the left like. BBC is anti-Christians, anti-conservative. We know what the BBC is. Yet even the BBC could not deny the truth that their propaganda is not working, and they are stupid.
Driving a car in the winter can be quite the headache, but electric vehicle owners are facing a whole new set of challenges as temperatures dip. The cold is affecting two crucial elements of the EV experience: the driving range and the charging speed.
I've been here for over 5 hours at this point.
And the reason for both comes down to their power source.
Lithium-ion batteries.
Lithium-ion battery.
Lithium-ion battery.
Lithium-ion batteries. Like all other batteries, they run on chemical reactions, the movement of electrons and ions from one terminal of the battery to the other. Chemical reactions happen faster when it's hotter and slower when it's colder. And since some of the car's battery power in the winter is being redirected to maintain optimal battery temperature and heat the car cabin, your EV's driving range could be reduced by as much as 25%.
So anyway, we heard the guy saying he is waiting to charge his car for 5 hours. So 5 hours, and yet the car is not charged yet. By the time your car will be charged, is going to be night time. What's wrong with those people? You see, good, we have technology is getting improved. Now we have a problem. Okay, maybe next year, 2 years from now, this is the problem will be solved. But those stupid Democrats, they decide to close our oil and gas production immediately. They are donkeys. They don't even have a sense of intelligence. They are even asking us to stop eating beef. Why? Because beef is causing global warming. Why? Because they fart. What about we put a block in your anus so you stop farting too? A human being, they fart. We have 7 billion of them. Should we kill them all? What about we go and kill the deers? Because they are kind of cows too. And the sheep and the goat. Anything fart, we kill it. And they are obsessed with the global warming. Yet all of them, they go and take a vacation in the most expensive resort in the world. They are spending too much electricity just for their fantasy and their fictions and their luxury. What if there is somebody, his wife, she fart a lot? What do you think we should do to her? Oh, what about the husband? He fart a lot. He eat beans. American eat beans. Should we stop eat beans too? I mean, we have a farting problem. The only farting I see is what is coming from their mouth. This is why I call those people the useful idiots. And the reason I call them useful, because I hope that we can use what they say, like maybe some of you are good at making videos, so you can make videos to expose their lies. Use their videos speaking false, and find the clips exposing the same people speaking the opposite. Let us say we do some reality check, and we expose the useful idiots. I hope today we have a good time. And, you know, for me, I don't like really to talk about politics, but obviously this year is going to be a very hot year, and we hope that we will be able to get rid of those idiots so we can fix this country. And I hope and I pray that if Trump, he won the election, he will not do the same mistake he did last time. he should clean the government. If he go in the office and he did not clean the government, there's nothing will be fixed. The biggest mistake he did last time, when he won the election, he won the Senate and the Congress and the White House, which means he can change anything. He wasted his time. He have the House in his hand, which means the Congress. The senators, they were Republican too. And he is in the White House, so nobody can stop him. So the first 2 years, instead of doing what is right, they were able to fool him and make him busy with impeachment, or he called the president of Ukraine. He made a big mistake. In the same time, we as people who vote conservative, we should not vote for those people who they were stabbing Trump in his back. Because unity is very important to win. So don't vote for those people who show their real color. You see, I do not need to like a Trump as a person to support Trump. If you really care for the country, then you support the agenda. Those people who they supported the enemy of Trump, they are supporting the enemy of America. And yet they claim to be what? They claim to be a Republican. And we have many names. We have many names of those who they claim to be Republican, yet they were doing what? They were supporting the agenda of the idiots, the Democrat. So we should collect all those names and be sure in the coming election, we don't vote for any of them. We don't want a senator who vote Democrat. We don't want a congressman who vote Democrat. Yet he claimed to be Republican, which means he is stealing our vote to use it against us. And I hope all of us will do it. Like maybe we should make a short list of names of those people who vote always against our wish. So we boycott them and we don't vote for them and we cast them out. And maybe before the election time come, we will make more broadcast programs about this issue, so we can get more unity and explain to people why they have to vote. You know, I don't like now. I'm doing my broadcast in Rumble. I don't have too many audience here, but maybe we will post some videos on YouTube where we have a big number there. We will see what we will do. So I want to say thank you all for being here. May the Lord bless you, and let us work for the change, not to cry for it. Crying for something without working for it is a foolish act. If you want to clean your house from garbage, it's not by wishing the house to be clean. You have to clean it yourself. Nobody will clean it to you. If you want to eat, you have to cook. If you want to get paid, you have to work. So if you want your country to be a great country, not a country of shameful people, look what they are doing. Go watch them. Just type right now. Actually, just last week, there's a guy, he used to work for Trump. He was killed in a carjacking. What's his name, the guy? They want to hijack his car. The guy, he jumped in the back seat. He shot him. 56 years old man. What kind of country? And then this guy, the same guy, he went to different gas station and he did the same and he shot the second guy. So he killed two in less than 1 hour. This is what they want. And they say to you that their cities forbid guns. Okay, you forbid guns. Where is the guns coming from? Migrant did beat a policeman, recorded by camera. And then they say to you, suspected. What suspected? I mean, they have them in the camera and the video. They use the word suspect. What do you mean suspect? I mean, even the word they choose is so stupid, so silly. You see the word suspect if we are not sure. Correct? But if you have them in camera, beating the policeman, how you call them suspect? And not only that, what they do, they let them go after they, I mean, imagine what kind of country we have. A bunch of migrants, we are feeding them. If I beat a policeman, what will happen to me? So if I am a migrant, I can beat the police. If you are an American, you stay in jail for a couple of years. What kind of logic those stupid people have? I mean, how far their stupidity can go. Imagine they are giving them $3,000 credit card or ATM card. I mean, everybody will come to this country. I will come at least just to get the $3,000 and leave. What a stupid people, man.
Live now from Fox, continuing now with top stories and headlines of the day. On your screen right now, a live look out in New York City, Times Square to be specific. A group of 5 men have been arrested, accused of attacking a group of New York City police officers. Fox 5 New York's Lizette Nunez live in Times Square this morning with the latest on the charges these men now face. Lizette,
what charges?
Good morning to you. And it was a horrific attack, and it was all caught on camera. Police ultimately put the surveillance video of that attack out to the public, as well as pictures of the suspects, which they believe led to additional arrests.
Anyway, after that, after they released them, everybody started questioning what's going on in the city. They became the joke of everybody. What do you mean they released them? Are you encouraging more people to beat the police?
Officers in Times Square. The incident taking place Saturday around 8:30 in the evening. According to police, officers tried to break up a disorderly group on West 42nd Street. When police tried to take the person dressed in yellow into custody, that's when things took a turn and the group began attacking the officers.
This is exactly what the Muslims they do, and we saw in Europe, beating the police. Because the police in Europe is sissy. They don't have guns, they don't have weapons, they have no authority. They are just people in uniform. And this is what they want this country to be. Anyone, he come and beat our police, so our town, our city, our country will be out of orders, and the criminals will take over. You know, if those guys are coming as migrant and they are beating the police in America, what they are doing in their country, what is their background? They are illegal migrant, correct? What is their background? What they do in their country? How many people they killed? We know nothing about them. To be a stranger, a foreigner, and a refugee, if we can use that word, and yet you beat the police of the country, which you are now you just came and they are feeding you, and the first few days you come, you want to beat the police?
Arrest after this video shows a group of men assaulting officers in Times Square. The incident taking place Saturday around 8:30 in the evening. According to police, officers tried to break up a disorderly group on West 42nd Street. When police tried to take the person dressed in yellow into custody, that's when things took a turn and the group began attacking the officers. Several people repeatedly punched and kicked the officers in the head and body. Police initially arrested.
By the way, they arrested 5, but in the video we saw how many beating the police. There's like 20 people. And the other question is, where is the American? Why nobody jumped to help the police? I will tell you why. Because in those states who they are Democrat, Everybody hate America. They hate our flag. They hate the police. They fund the police. And that's why the police are alone. Why nobody jumped to help them from the civilians? If I was there and I see a bunch of people beating the police, I will not stand watching. I will join. I will defend the police. Because if we allow them to beat allow anyone, American or not American, doesn't matter. If we allow that, we reach the point that people, they can put our police in the ground, beating them, bringing humiliation to them, causing physical injury. Who is going to stop those people from beating the hell out of you inside your house? Who's going to stop them? If they have no fear to attack your policemen, what they will do if you are the one who have a fight with them?
Arrested 4 people and then a 5th person on Monday. They face charges including assault on a police officer, gang assault, and disorderly conduct. According to the New York Post, those who were arrested and charged are migrants who were then released without bail.
They are released without bail. They are what? Released without bail. What do you mean released without bail? Hold on. I better stop here. I mean, this country is a great country, but I thank God not every state in America is run by Democrat. Imagine if we have the infestation of Democrat in every state in America, this country is doomed. So thank God that the major numbers of the American states are red. Red. They like it or not. The majority of America is red. And this is why they hate what they see. And the enemy of America, they wish that all America is donkey. I don't know why the Democrat, they choose such a symbolic for them. But I assume there is a connection. I will leave that for you. Thank you for being here. May the Lord bless you. And until we see you soon again. God is good. So is Jesus. And those idiots, we have a duty to expose them and expose their lies. And the one who don't expose their lies, he is helping them with their lies. So you better do your part. Otherwise, the weeds will take over your house, and then tomorrow maybe you will find a bunch of guys beating a policeman in your town, and then they will come to your house and beat you too. Because even the police, they are now fear for their safety. So who is going to protect your safety? This is why it's good for us to be armed too. And this is why the Democrat, they want to take our arms, our weapon. They want to strip us from everything will make us live in a free land. They want to take you from... just today I got a warning. I got a flag from Twitter. Correct? You saw it, right? In Patreon. Twitter, you know, I thought now we have Elon Musk is better, you know. Yeah, the Muslims and the liberals, they flag my videos. And they flag my comments. What's wrong with my comments? I'm exposing their lies about Hamas and defending Israel. And at Twitter, they found that my comments and my response is violating their policy. Let me show you what I received today from a Twitter, which I don't use even much, you know. I posted in Patreon, so I'm opening Patreon to show it to you. What a bunch of cowards. All right. I don't know why it's taking so long to open. Maybe there is something wrong with Patreon. But I guess most of you saw it already, right? Let me try. I know the page is not open. Huh? Okay, here we go. What's wrong with this thing? Okay, finally it's open. We have temporarily limited some of your account features. We have determined that this account violated the X rules, specifically for violating our rules against violent speech. I mean, those guys are the one I respond to them. They are posting Hamas video shooting RBG. They are coming against me. You may not share abusive content, harass someone, or encourage other people to do so. I am the one who is supporting Hamas and encouraging genocide against the Jews. So you speak against Hamas, Elon Musk, garbage team, they see it differently. It is you. I am the one is harassing? Or those people, they are going in the highway, they are cutting the street, they are bothering people, they are screaming at people, they are threatening people. Can you believe it? As a result, we have temporarily limited some of your account features. Like what? Delete the content that violate our rules. I will delete nothing, you coward. I say what I say, and you are a bunch of potatoes. You cannot stop me. I know you guys, you don't see the screen. Hold on. But I can share the link with you. Maybe better than the screen. This is the link. What a bunch of garbage. And this is the scenario everywhere. You go to YouTube, you are violating our policy. What is your policy exactly? Those who post videos of Hamas killing Jews, you don't flag them. Those who they fight against their lies and their bigotry and hatred, you never take their video down. It doesn't matter where you go. They try to silence you. If I change my account now and I start posting videos of Hamas and the title is a Free Palestine from the river to the sea, how many posts right now exist in Twitter saying those sentences? Millions. I just respond to them. I respond to their lies. This is what I get. Same in YouTube. Same in Facebook. That's why I delete my account in Facebook. In fact, I used to have a big number of subscribers on Twitter. I deleted it like 3 years ago, I think. Because anything I post, they do the same. They flag me. They suspend me. Anything you say. Support the terrorist, you are fine. Twitter, YouTube, all those platforms will bless you with their evil. But we will never change, and we will always say the truth. And as the Lord, he said, search for the truth, read the books, search for the truth, and the truth will set you free. So we pray the Lord will set us free with his truth, for he is the truth, and they are false, and they will be defeated. Never let them make them or allow them to discourage you. Because this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to oppress you so you change direction. They think you are a rat. We block your road here. We block your road here. We block your road there. And then we have only one road for you. But we will never walk in their road. No matter what. We are not rats. And we will never be their rats. Resist, be brave, be strong, and never let you feel frustrated, because the reason they are against you, because you are saying the truth. If you are politically correct, you will be perfectly fine with them. If you are. But we are not, and we will never be, and I promise you that. Thank you all for being here. May the Lord bless you. God is good. So is Jesus. And see you soon again. Bye-bye.